Bassett wiped the grease from his hands onto his already stained coveralls, watching the sleek Vortanian cruiser lift off from Bay 7. Another satisfied customer. Another 50,000 credits deposited into his hidden account. The account Anna knew nothing about. He glanced at his personal terminal, checking the balance one more time. 47 million credits. Not bad for a struggling human mechanic on Nexus Station. The irony wasn't lost on him. In a galaxy where humanity was considered the underdog species, too weak, too short-lived, too primitive, Bassett had become the most sought-after engineer in 3 sectors. Alien species with technology centuries beyond Earth's couldn't figure out what he instinctively understood. Machines weren't just circuits and fuel lines. They were living systems that needed intuition, not just calculation. But Anna didn't know that. Couldn't know that, not yet. The bay door hissed open, and Bassett's heart did that stupid flutter thing it always did when she entered. Anna swept in with her characteristic grace, her Drakari heritage evident in every movement. Silver scales caught the harsh station lighting, shimmering like starlight across her temples and down her neck. Her golden eyes, capable of seeing in 17 different spectrums, locked onto him immediately. "Bassett!" Her voice carried that melodic resonance typical of her species. "You're still here? It's past midnight cycle time." He shrugged, playing his part. "Bills don't pay themselves. Had to finish that repair job on the Vortanian ship." Anna's expression softened with concern. She crossed the bay, her designer suit probably worth more than his supposed annual income. Her family controlled half the mining operations in the Kepler sector. She could buy this entire station if she wanted. "How much did they pay you?" she asked, genuine worry in her voice. 500 credits, Bassett lied smoothly. Better than nothing. The small fortune he'd actually charged would have made Anna's wealthy family blink. But she didn't need to know that. Not when she looked at him with such tender concern. Not when she treated him like an equal despite every social convention of her species screaming that she was slumming it with a poor human mechanic. "Bassett, this is ridiculous." Anna moved closer, her warmth radiating in that unique Drakari way. "My family's company has contracts. I could get you proper work, real pay." "No." He cut her off, perhaps too sharply. Softening his tone, he added, "I told you. I make my own way. Human pride, you know." She smiled at that. That beautiful smile that made him feel like the richest being in the galaxy. "Your stubborn human pride will be the death of you." If only she knew. The Galactic Council had offered him a position 3 times. Admiral positions with salaries that would make planetary governors jealous. He'd turned them all down. Let them think humans were just lucky tinkers. Let them underestimate Earth's children. "I brought dinner," Anna said, producing a container from her bag. "Real Earth food. Cost me 3,000 credits to have it shipped from the Sol system." Bassett's chest tightened. 3,000 credits for a meal for him, when she thought he lived paycheck to paycheck in a cramped station apartment. The apartment he actually owned, along with 4 other properties she'd never seen. "You shouldn't spend that kind of money on me," he said, meaning it. "I spend my money how I want." That Imperial Drakari tone, the one that brooked no argument. "Besides, I wanted to talk to you about something." Here it comes, Bassett thought. 6 months they'd been together. 6 months of her family's increasing pressure. 6 months of whispers behind her back about the poor human she was wasting her time with. Anna's golden eyes met his, and for a moment he saw something he'd never seen before. Uncertainty. "My father is demanding I end this," she said quietly. "End us. He says you're beneath our family's standing. That I'm embarrassing them." Bassett felt his jaw tighten. This was exactly why he'd maintained the charade. To see if she'd choose him anyway. To know if what they had was real. "And?" he asked. Anna's scales flared slightly, a sign of agitation in her species. Then she laughed, a sound like crystal chimes. "I told him he could shove his family standing into a black hole." Despite everything, Bassett grinned. "I told him," Anna continued, her voice strengthening, "that I've found something more valuable than all our mining operations combined. I've found someone who sees me as Anna, not as the Drakari heiress. Someone who argues with me, challenges me, makes me laugh." Her eyes softened. "Someone who works himself to exhaustion in a grimy repair bay and still brings me flowers he probably can't afford. The flowers he'd grown himself in his private hydroponics garden. The garden in his actual penthouse across the station." "Anna." Bassett started, but she held up a scaled hand. I'm not done. I told my father that if he can't accept you, he can consider himself down one daughter. I've accessed my trust fund. I'm financially independent, and I'm choosing you, Bassett. Poor, stubborn, proud you. Bassett stared at her. This incredible being who'd just sacrificed everything for a lie. The guilt hit him like a plasma blast. There's something I need to tell you, he said slowly. Anna's expression shifted to concern. What's wrong? Bassett pulled out his personal terminal and brought up his actual financial records. He watched her eyes widen as the numbers registered. Watched her process the property deeds, the patents, the contracts with half the governments in known space. I'm not poor, he said simply. Never was. I'm probably wealthier than your father, actually. I needed to know if you'd choose me anyway. Choose the person, not the portfolio. The silence stretched. Anna's scales rippled through several colors: surprise, confusion, anger, then finally, inexplicably, amusement. You magnificent idiot, she said, and then she was laughing. Actually laughing. You tested me? I'm sorry, Bassett said, though he wasn't entirely sure he was. Anna shook her head, still laughing. Do you know what this means? That you're going to kill me? That we're both stupidly, impossibly, wonderfully in love. She pulled him close, her warmth enveloping him. And that you're buying dinner from now on. Very expensive dinners. Bassett wrapped his arms around her, breathing in her unique scent of ozone and cinnamon. Deal. In the end, it wasn't about the money or the status. It was about two beings from different worlds, different species, choosing each other. That was the real human superpower, Bassett thought. Not their engineering genius or their stubborn determination. It was their capacity to love so completely that nothing else mattered. Not poverty. Not wealth. Not the entire galaxy telling them they didn't fit. Just them, just this. And that was worth more than all the credits in creation.